Hello, in this example, we'll take a look at FlexButton being used to inject a third-party vendor's product into the HIS user's workflow. In this specific example, the vendor's product is used for charge capture purposes, but FlexButton can really interact with any third-party vendor solution supporting integration with outside systems. Within the hospital HIS system, a patient is identified in the HIS system, and the user selects the document option on the right-hand side verb strip to open up the patient's chart and document against the patient's chart. FlexButton sees the creation of this specific screen within the HIS system and adds itself to the bottom right-hand corner of the document screen real time. This is the FlexButton down here in the bottom right-hand corner. When the user invokes the FlexButton, the patient's diagnosis codes are passed to the vendor's product, real time, and the user is then taken into the patient's record in the vendor's system. At this point, control is passed to the vendor's product and system, and the user can navigate around and do whatever they like in the vendor system. When the user has finished processing the patient's record in the vendor system, they simply close out the vendor's product, and control is passed back to the HIS screen for processing of another patient. We'll do a few different ones here. On selecting the document button, the Flex button will be added to the bottom right-hand side of the screen. Invoking will launch to the vendor's product for that specific patient, passing that specific patient's diagnosis codes. Closing returns control back to the HIS session. Pick a third last patient here. Few key points. The document screen within the HIS was used in this specific example to meet the needs of the vendor's product, but the button appearance, size, and screen placement are customer defined to match the needs of the project. This allows the button to be added in the best possible location for the end user workflow. FlexButton can collect data about the user and patient and can pass this real time to an outside system. In the example I just demonstrated, we collect the patient's diagnosis codes as soon as the patient has been identified and the document routine is selected. Then those are passed to the vendor system real time, matching the vendor's specific specifications. Hospital and vendor-specific business rules can be added as well. In this specific example, we're only passing predefined diagnosis codes, which were defined by the hospital's core team, instead of passing all of the patient's diagnosis codes. That was a hospital-specific decision, hospital-specific business rules, which can be added project by project. A typical third-party integration is accomplished via web services, APIs, invoking an executable on the user's machine, or creating a dynamic URL based on the user and the patient information collected from the HIS system.